You're watching My TV 53 News at 8.
Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm Austin Reed. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at MyTV53. We've got a special treat for you. City Councilman Mike Karbassi inside the studio with us, celebrating
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are talking about the Veterans Boulevard interchange. On Monday, earlier this week, it opened.
Oh, it's a generation in the making. There's been so many dedicated people trying to make this happen. You know, when I first came into office in 2019, I said this is going to be a priority. And that week we got the build grant, the last bit of money we needed for this $140 million project. You know, Austin, this is the largest public works project this city has ever managed, ever. And it opened. It was an amazing opening. Everyone was out there. It was terrific. And it's now so much easier to move in Northwest Fresno. You want to go from Herndon to Shaw or Shaw to Herndon. You have to go over Golden State, the high-speed rail line, the 99. Now you can do that. Just a flash. Don't speed though.
Don't speed.
45. That's the limit.
We'll talk about speeders later. Why did the city really focus on this area?
You know, one thing I think we realized a while back is there's something called Forgotten Fresno, and that means that's the neighborhoods all west of the 99. And like my district goes down to Shaw. So everything north of Shaw, west of Highway 99, they're still my residents too. And we've had a lot of new homes out there, really nice communities being developed. But if we want to get the kind of grocery stores and banks and all the kind of things we all want, the quality of life businesses we want, it's got to be easy to get there. And it's not easy right now. So investing $140 million into this part of town and building this overpass over all these, challenging thoroughfares, it's going to make it easier. And they're going to see, I think investors are going to see, hey, the city of Fresno is serious about investing, and the response is going to be, look, to me, success is a grocery store in that area. I mean, everyone talks about Trader Joe's. Imagine a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's out there. It can happen, and it's far more likely to happen because of projects like Veterans Boulevard. So, yeah, and there'll be on-ramps and off-ramps to get off the Golden State onto Veterans. Herndon looks different. So I live in that area.
Yeah.
And you're going to notice going westbound, you're going to see some differences. Just getting onto Veterans, it's really easy though. It's seamless. Okay. Going eastbound, that's a little bit different. You're gonna have an extra turn signal, but it's minimal. And I think that it's easier if you live in that area and you want to go to Shaw. You're not gonna go to Herndon anymore. Down Herndon to over the railroad tracks, past Riverside. You're just gonna go through Veterans, and it's gonna shave off so much time. And emergency vehicles, it's not just us that benefit. Think about how much time it's gonna save the fire department. Yes. Police officers, ambulances. That's another big advantage to this project.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yep.
I think a lot of people don't.
Yeah, and our job, I think, is to make sure as we get bigger, as we grow as a city, we do it in a responsible way that increases quality of life. And making these strategic investments, look, the concept of Veterans Boulevard is like 20 years old. I say it was a generation because there were people before me, my predecessors, people at the county, people at the Fresno COG, even people through Caltrans that envisioned this project and worked together to lobby Sacramento, but mostly Washington, to bring in all this money and invest. Right. And that's how we got that last build grant. And here we are. We opened this beautiful thoroughfare.
It created jobs too?
It did. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's one thing I don't want people to forget. When we're investing tax dollars, I have to add, because we're talking about tax dollars, this project was opened on time and under budget. Actually, it was early. It was supposed to be in December. We opened it in November. But we want to be good stewards of those dollars because they're hard-earned dollars. I pay taxes, you pay taxes. And frankly, it's not the funnest thing to do, but it makes it feel better when you see the benefit of those dollars. And if we're using your money to build projects, we should be empowering people in our area, creating jobs for local residents to build these great projects. They're going to spend that money at our businesses. It's really amazing. I have to hand it to our public works team. Like I said, this is it's a $140 million project, largest in the city's history. And it was managed beautifully by Scott Mosier, our public works director. I mean, he was there, I think, when he first started at the city. Veterans Boulevard was the dream, and now we've achieved this. And he's not done yet. We got him for a few more years, I hope. Many years, I hope. Yeah. But he and Randall Morrison did a great job.
Okay, so your district is very large, though, huh?
It is. Actually, when we just did redistricting, and my district shrunk because population-wise, believe it or not, Northwest grew the most. So, we're, Fig Garden Village is in District 2. Half of what you call River Park, so everything west of Blackstone, that's District 2. Okay. The El Paseo Shopping Center, all District 2. The Fig Garden Loop, right. It's all of us.
What else could you envision? I know that you are running for this would be your third and final term.
Right. So I get a third term because I was elected in a special election, but it was less than 2 years, so it didn't count. And this will be I'm a big believer in term limits, and if the people will have me, this will be my final term on the city council.
What do you foresee yourself being a part of on top of Veterans Boulevard once or if you get that final term?
Well, I set out several goals when I ran in 2019. This is based on feedback from folks living here. I mean, the nice thing about being a local elected official, they call it retail politics. If I go to the grocery store, I'm going to see the residents I represent. Yeah. When you're in Sacramento or DC, there are lobbyists between you and the people, and that's unfortunate. But here, if you mess up, people are going to tell you. And if you do good, people are gracious too. And I've been very fortunate to have that. So I made a couple of goals. One was, and again, it may not seem big in the big picture, but it's big to the people that are affected by it. These are quality of life issues. I talked about the importance of having a responsive person and good customer service. And from that came, we want infrastructure dollars in Northwest, not just Veterans Boulevard. You ever use Audubon Drive?
Yeah.
Okay, the scenic drive, beautiful area. Believe it or not, even though it's used as a shortcut, it's actually a neighborhood road. It has the word Audubon. It doesn't mean like the German Audubon. It's a different thing. But people have been struggling. They've been asking. I heard this from folks. I've been trying to get a council member to fix this problem for 10 years, 20 years, whatever it was. And next month, we're going to break ground. And we are going to finally build 3 protected crosswalks and a traffic signal at Audubon and Del Mar. Because, in Audubon, you can't cross the street safely. You are taking your life in your own hands. It's a miracle we haven't had a fatality from a pedestrian out there or a bicyclist or even someone in a car. And so my goal is to ensure that we create those safe spaces for everyone and we reduce that traffic flow because that's what the residents want. So if you live there, if you want to make a left-hand turn on Del Mar, you're going to wait forever because all that traffic comes through. This will help the neighborhood. Again, it sounds small, but it's a $1 million project. It just takes a lot of coordination to get that funding and then pushing to get the crews to do the work. We have a lot of curb and gutter issues that have been taken care of. We've slurry sealed, meaning resurfaced roads throughout District 2. We just did Faulkner earlier this year. We just did Van Ness. That impacts schools and parks in that area, as well as the residents. We're going to be doing a segment of Shaw. That's a big one. I mean, my goal for my second term is to get Shaw from Palm all the way to Polk repaved. That's over $20 million. It's expensive, but Shaw's in really bad shape. Yeah. I've been able to concentrate my money onto Herndon and Veterans Boulevard. Now I want to focus on our tax dollars going to help Shaw because it's a major thoroughfare for all of us.
Totally major. Yeah. I mean, you think of Shaw literally from the 99 all the way to the 168.
Yep.
It's
crazy. And so I have a responsibility to ensure we do more because look, there's a movement in Sacramento to force people out of their cars. I disagree with that. I have an electric vehicle. So, I don't have a gas guzzler. I'm being responsible, right? So why should I get punished? Fresno is, in a way, we're still a rural community.
Yeah.
You want to drive to Madera, can't use mass transit. No. We have mass transit available for the fax system. It's great. We have all these options for people, rideshare and those things. But we should have solutions to our problems that actually work for different communities. It shouldn't be a one size fits all. That's just dumb. I'm sorry. It's short-sighted. So that's why I'm glad we're investing in our roads, investing in Veterans Boulevard, and not just talking about our roads, public safety. That's so important. And my goal was to get to 1,000 officers because we need to reduce violent crime. Now you've seen a dramatic reduction in homicides in Fresno. Now we have to do more to reduce what they call petty crimes, retail thefts, the crimes that we see every day, people stealing our mail. and we need the bodies. So when I came into office, we had just over 800 police officers. Now we're at 900. I think by next year we'll be at 925. So this was a big goal for me, including increasing the number of firefighters. We've never had more police officers and firefighters than ever. And that just comes from good management, working with the mayor, working with the council. I said I'd never vote for a budget that didn't increase the number of police officers and firefighters, and I've always kept that pledge.
Yeah. Well, and I know, Fresno Police Chief Paco Valderrama, when he got here, there was a lot of homicides, and it looks it's gone down.
And what's changed, and he's done a great job recruiting more people to come in. There's one budget I didn't vote for. I rejected that budget because I felt that we were not incentivizing, we were not being competitive, because you have other agencies with less demand that aren't, it's if you really want to work, this is the department you go to. If you want to be in the action, you want to serve people, this is it, because there's so much activity here. All kinds of things happen in Fresno. And our police officers, they face a very challenging environment, but they also know that not only do we compensate them and make sure they have health benefits for themselves, but we also respect and love them, and they know that we are gonna support them in their mission to keep us safe. And that's important. So we value our law enforcement in this community.
We've got just a few minutes left, but it is Thanksgiving, and I want to ask you 3 things that you're grateful for. Do you have 3?
I have 3. I've been thinking about it because you told me a moment ago.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I kind of teed him up.
Gave me a little warning on that one. My parents, that always is something, because, my parents, they're getting older. Yeah. Not my mom. I hope she's not watching. But they're healthy. Yeah. And that's something I'm always thankful for. And also, this is going to sound really corny, but I really am grateful for having this job. To me, it's the biggest honor of my life. It's the most special thing I'll ever do. And I want to make sure I do a good job for the time I'm here. Third thing, well, I will say this, because of Veterans Boulevard, because of all the things, and I didn't go into detail, there's so many things coming up in Northwest Fresno, the city staff that make it possible, from our Parks Department to Public Works, our law enforcement, DPU, our city manager, Georgianne White, the mayor, everyone. I'm a very collaborative person. And I don't think one person has the answer to everything, but I think people coming together, you get more resources and you make things happen. My job is just to prioritize and make sure government works for the residents that we serve. And I think we're doing that. So thank you to the city.
All right. I wanted to thank you for something. This happened a few months ago. You may remember it, but I took my daughters to a park.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the park. Was it Mosqueda? Maybe, I don't know. But there was graffiti with curse words, and it was just unacceptable at a park for kids. I posted it on my Instagram page, and you immediately saw it, and you got it in touch with who was
Chavez.
it? Yeah, with Chavez. So
and
they got it taken care of. So
On that note, I will say, folks, if you see a problem, please report it. If you see graffiti, 311 or the Fresno app, it's very effective. Our graffiti abatement team, they're pretty fast, and that's what we're here to do, because we don't want our neighborhoods looking bad. That the broken window theory, right?
Yeah.
If you don't clean it up, then people are going to make it look worse. So yeah.
Mike Karbassi,
thanks for that.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I'm Austin Reed. You're watching this special edition of My TV 53 News. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll be back with more right after this.